Hey, it's me. I'm back again with another review. I thought that I would start off this year of 2017 by making a new review series. In fact, I've decided to review all the James Bond movies. All of them. Beginning with Dr. No from 1972 all the way to Spectre, which came out last year, 2016. Now this is of course gonna take a lot of time. It might take more than a year, but we'll see how it goes. I might review all the Bond movies, but I might not go into such a deep analyzing state like I did in my 27-minute Die Hard review. I love Die Hard! By the way, the Die Hard review is now cut into smaller pieces. Go watch it if you want to. But here we go. We're gonna start off with Dr. No. Dr. No is the first James Bond movie ever made. It was based on the Ian Fleming novel with the same name. The movie came out in 1962, which is almost exactly 55 years ago, and you can tell that it's an old movie in many ways. I must say that Dr. No has stood the test of time pretty well. This is partially thanks to that the movie doesn't have much technology focus. The little technology they use in Dr. No seems to be pretty ancient. For example, I'm pretty sure plastic suits don't protect you from radioactive radiation. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's why Marie Curie died. Anyway, another thing that makes Dr. No really good is that you could almost say that Dr. No feels more like a detective movie than some of the other James Bond movies. This might be because they were limited to what they could do in terms of budget and or creativity. This girl even calls James Bond a detective and he doesn't correct her.
Never met a detective before. Are you going to arrest Dr. No?
Well, someone is. We can't have him trying to kill everyone who comes here.
Shouldn't he be saying something like, I'm a secret agent of Her Majesty's government? Or maybe he just doesn't want to reveal his true identity. Or maybe he just doesn't remember. Oh no, it's like Jason Bourne! Well, anyway, I'm now gonna try to explain the plot of Dr. No, although I'm not quite possibly accurate what really happened because I was watching the movie really hungover. You see, what happened the night before was that my buddy from Suriname came over with 8 bottles of tequila and was like, hey, you wanna drink some? Now I don't remember anything after that, but I'm pretty sure I said yes. And the next thing I know, I woke up in a Colombian brothel, and I owed some guy named Geraldo $20,000. Now this stressed me out a lot, so in order to calm down, I decided to watch Dr. No. It was the only movie they had in the brothel. God, what a shithole. So my review might not be totally correct, but I'm quite possibly accurate that it is. Now, Dr. No starts out with some old white guy dying in Jamaica. The white guy who died was important to the British government. I'm not quite sure why. Perhaps they were just kind of interested in him. He's a pretty good looking guy, I guess. And maybe they're interested in his disappearance too. The British government sends James Bond, played by Sean Connery, to Jamaica in order to investigate the white guy's disappearance. Sean Connery finds out that the guy who was murdered found some radioactive rocks on some remote island.
Samples Strangways brought back from Crab Key were radioactive.
And this discovery alerts the bad guys to Sean Connery's investigation.
Bond has discovered those rock samples of Strangways came from Crab Key. He's not a fool, he's sure to come out here.
They try to murder him by placing a spider in his bed. Now this is a pretty smart move by the bad guys. If Bond was bitten by a spider, his death would look totally accidental. Why didn't they do this to the old white guy too? Then the British wouldn't want to investigate the white guy's murder. I don't know, it just seems smarter to me. Anyway, Bond survives and he visits the remote island. The remote island turns out to be controlled by Dr. No, an evil scientist guy who is half Chinese and half German. Is this Hollywood jello facing again? I thought it was a Chinese guy, I don't know. Anyway, Dr. No is using radioactivities to steal missiles or something. I think he's stealing missiles, I'm not sure. The biggest problem I have with the movie is that Dr. No never really explains why he's doing what he's doing. You see, he says that neither the West nor the East wanted to hire him.
Americans are fools. I offered my services, they refused. So did the East. Now they can both pay for their mistake.
And I guess now he wants some kind of revenge. So he wants to steal their missiles. But why? I don't know. Is it just to show them that he can? That he's smarter than them? Which is an okay motivation, I guess, but I don't understand his plan. Dr. No only wants to steal the missiles to show that he can? That he's smarter than both the East and the West? This doesn't make any sense to me. If he steals the rocket or missile, wouldn't the US or the USSR see where the missile went? Wouldn't they see that it landed on Dr. No's little island, and they can just go and take the missile back from him? Or just bomb the island? I don't know, but this doesn't make any sense to me. And he doesn't really explain himself. He just talks about how Sean Connery, aka Bond, seems like almost as smart as him.
You're the one man I've met capable of appreciating what I've done and keeping it to himself.
Which is fine, but why are you doing this? Maybe it's better explained in Ian Fleming's book, but I don't know. I can't read. Anyway, he also tells Bond that he's a member of Spectre, a top secret organization that plans to rule the world or something.
Of Spectre.
Spectre?
Spectre. Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, Extortion. The four great cornerstones of power, headed by the greatest brains in the world.
Later, Sean Connery manages to stop Dr. No thanks to the really bad fences in the holding cells, and thanks to Dr. No having absolutely no security guards in the control room, which is basically the most important room in the whole building. Usually his place was crawling with security before, but now in the most important room on the most important day there's no guards to be found whatsoever, and Sean Connery can just easily turn off the radioactive missile capturing thing or whatever. And he does. And Dr. No dies. All ends well. Except for the people who worked for Dr. No on the island. Well, what do I care? Anyway, to summarize this review without it going on for like 27 minutes, I want to say that Dr. No is an okay movie, although it feels a bit old. It's held up pretty well. The main thing that makes this movie feel really good is that it feels more like a detective movie than an action movie, which I guess the books were. Ian Fleming's James Bond books are probably spy or detective books, which works really well. It's exciting, and I almost wish that modern James Bond movies were more like Dr. No. I mean, the action isn't that bad either. Some of the effects are pretty good. Just look at this car explosion. Let's compare this explosion to In Time. See? Things were better in the 60s. Although in the car chase they used the same scene twice. Oh well, at least it wasn't Nicolas Cage who was driving the car. And another thing I want to talk quickly about are the racist undertones in Dr. No. Now I'm not sure if this is racist or not, but all the Americans are superstitious and believes that there's a giant dragon on Dr. No's island.
You see, there's a dragon.
What?
Native superstition. Started by Dr. No, probably.
All right, Quill.
Most of them are drunks, and this one guy keeps calling James Bond Captain.
Captain, you all get some rest if you want to. I stay out here, on watch, in case he smells us out and comes looking for us.
Like James Bond has the right to boss him around or something. Also, the first thing Bond does when he comes to the island is assume that the black guy is a bad guy. He follows him. I don't know if this is racist. Maybe it's just stereotypes. Oh well. At least they had good music.
all the people go jump up. Waving arms about, weaving in and out, it's so easy to jump up. Take a pretty girl, make a whirl, and then both begin again, jump up. Hold her very tight, and for all the night we'll be doing to jump up. Jump up, jump up, Jamaica, jump up, jump up, Jamaica, jump up, music.
Now another thing I noticed that there are some scenes in Dr. No that are quite similar to scenes in Star Wars.
Our attempts failed.
Your attempts failed. I do not like failure. You are not going to fail me again, Professor.
Lord Vader, the fleet has moved down to flight speed and we're preparing to...
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral.
I sense it too.
Is this just a coincidence? I'm gonna say probably. But maybe George Lucas saw Dr. No and wanted to do the same thing. I mean, he's probably seen it, right? Although, it might be in his unconscious. I don't think he wanted to copy it on purpose. Anyway, that was my Dr. No review. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, wait, there's a knock on my door. Oh, Geraldo. Oh, hi, Geraldo. You'll get your money, I promise. You don't have to... No, Geraldo, I was busy doing my Dr. No review. You'll get your money, I promise. No, Geraldo, you don't have to do that. No, Geraldo, no!
All the people go jump up. Waving arms about, weaving in and out, it's so easy to jump up. Take a pretty girl, make a whirl, and then both begin again, jump up. Hold her very tight, and for all the night we'll be doing to jump up.